So we got to work on this a little bit. Let's see. We want to be able to see the cards. There we go. All the cards. Shut the door a little bit because it's noisy right next to the washing machine. Doing laundry. Yeah, oh, you know, that kind of stuff. I just sat on yesterday's binder almost. Almost. Not quite, but almost sat on that one. That would have been a mess. Yesterday's binder. Okay. Whoo, okay. Well, it says we're live a minute and 10 seconds into it. All right. All right. So, minute and 33 seconds in. Today we are going to be binderizing the 1984 Donruss set. And again, when this set first came out, I was um, collecting um, the cards in pack form. Bam, bam, bam. So let's get into this. We've got the Perez Steel checklist for the Diamond Kings. So I'm not sure if I want to put this first or put this last. If I put it first, it screws up the count. But oh well, we'll just put it first. Why not? Get it over with. We got the Robin Yount. We've got David Concepcion. Now, I'm not sure if this is a set that has the, errors with the misspelling of steel, Perez Steel on the back, but there's one of these sets that has a misspelling of steel, STE LE, and it should be LLE, whatever. There's one of these years. I'm not sure if this is the year or not. Not that big a deal. Not particularly worried about that one, and they're probably a little hard to get, to be honest with you. But they are variations, so if they pop up, then yeah, you just find a hole and put them. That's all, right? You make a hole and put them. So we're just going on. Hey, Donald Blumdahl's in the house. Greetings. Oh, can Henhouse out for a you before heading out to church? Oh, okay, can hang out. All right. That's cool, Donald. Thank you for coming by and hanging out. Appreciate it. We're just binderizing the, just like yesterday where I binderized the 82 Fleer. Today is going to be the 84 Donruss. And of course, the key card in this set would be the Mattingly rookie card. But the set starts off just like I think just about every Donruss set, early Donruss anyway, starts out with the Diamond Kings in the front. So that's what we're doing. We're going to start out with the front. Now, I do believe this set, I don't think I'm missing any cards. So I believe this set is going to be complete. This again is another set that I picked up from my buddy Chuck, who just contacted me today. He saw my video from yesterday and saw that I was missing the 86. I'm sorry, it was the 80. I had mentioned that I was missing some cards or whatever, and the card that was missing was from the 86 Fleer set. It was the Dale Murphy. So he has it, and he's going to get it to me. So that's good. Thanks, Chuck, for that. Good looking out. Okay, so I got a separator here. Now this is an error I wasn't sure of. I say wasn't sure of. I never knew existed. All right, and I'll talk about the one that I did know about, which is right behind this on these rated rookies. So the one that I knew about was this one here, and this is the Ron Darling missing the baseball with the card number on the top. I did not know, was not aware of that the card before his is also missing the number on the front. We'll show you on the next card. So we have the error, but we do not have the corrected version. So I do have in my error binder, I believe I have the corrected version of the Ron Darling. But again, without being aware of the Mike Stenhouse, I didn't know to look for it, to be honest with you. I'm now aware of it. So I do have my placers, my, keep spots so I don't get discombobulated. But you see right there is where the number should be. So 29 and 30 are missing the numbers on the back of the cards. Now, how they made up like all these rated rookie cards, right? And Ron Darling was a big name. And didn't get the Mattingly in a rated rookie, just a regular base card. I have no idea what happened there. A late call up for Mattingly? I have no idea. No idea. But it's all good. All right. So, Donald, did you get your notification for this through YouTube? I mean, how did you know I went live? Because I think it tells you to turn your YouTube off. So, I didn't do like yesterday where I clicked live on YouTube and go live here on my StreamYards. Just curious how that worked out. Joe Carter, rated rookie. Palm Sunday. El Cid Fernandez. And here you go. So we're out of the rated rookies and we're into some more recognizable card. Yes, Donald, I'm going to binderize all my sets. Complete or not. If they're not complete, I'm just going to work on them. You know what I mean? Followed up by Robin Yount. Every set is I'm going to put in a binder and I'm going to build like you for your books that I'm sending you. I will have to build a rack bookcase for my binders. And they will be kept upstairs on the shelf upstairs. But it'll be part of my backdrop for all my future videos, I hope. Jim Rice. This garage will just become storage, basically. Dave Winfield. and I'll be able to come down here and start picking stuff off and stuff like that. Fernando Valenzuela, Theodore, George Brett, a lot of like really good ball players. And the first 100 cards, you got Ricky Henderson. He's card number 54. Gary Carter. And I really like the way this set looks. You know, you got the banner down here, but it's see through, so you can still make out the team, yet see more of the player. And just a small banner down here that is um, colored in with the team color and the player's name, which is okay. You know, it's not junked up with a lot of stuff. Here's the Reggie, and he's card number 57. And Harold Baines, Ozzie Smith. I mean, the hits just keep coming. The first 100 cards in this set. Here's the Nolan Ryan, card number 60. Nolan Ryan. $26. Then we skipped two more. So, yeah. So our numbers are going to be a little goofed up, but that's all right because of the skipping and stuff. Here's the Pete Rose. What's this guy doing in here? He's not a Hall of Famer, an All-Star, or even a fan favorite. It's just Ron Oster. There you go. Steve Garvey. Jason Thompson. Yeah, so Donald, I'm going to be set building from my birth year, 59, all the way up to the current year, which now is 2024, which I haven't seen any of the factory sets come out yet. So I'm just going to buy it in factory set form and put it in a binder. Dale Murphy. Darryl Strawberry. Richie Zisk. Kent Herbeck. Dave Steeb. And we're up to card 71 so far. A lot of big names. Like I said, I think the first 100 cards in this set would probably be the creme de la creme. There we go. Biff. There's Biff. We talked about Biff yesterday. Oh, Biff Pocoroba. Jim Barr. Kurt Bavacqua. 1970. Oh, I forget what year. Bubblegum blowing champion, though. Mid 70s, maybe. Mid to late 70s. He was the bubblegum blowing champion for Bazooka. Andy Van Slyke, longtime Pittsburgh Pirate. Jerry Hairston, his son played in the major leagues as well. Jerry Hairston Jr. This guy's got some Dumbo ears sticking out there. Try to hide it with his long hair, but not working. It's popping right out through the hair there, dude. Robert Springs, what's going on, Robert? Thanks for stopping by. We're up to card number 87. Joe Altabale. We're just binderizing the 1984 Donruss set. Thanks for stopping by, though. Appreciate it. John Henry Johnson. Juan Espino. There was just a trivia question about this guy. Maybe on Facebook or something like that. Said he had one career hit. They used this picture. Obviously, they took away the Donruss thing off of it. And they said had one career hit as a Yankee. This is an awesome set, yes. Hits. Career says 6, so I think someone made a mistake because the question was had one career hit as a Yankee, and this guy had 6 career hits, all in 1983. 6 hits, 5 strikeouts, 3 RBIs, 1 homer. This is it's a very nice set. I don't know what it goes for today if you were to try to buy the complete set. I'm not sure. But I picked this up off my buddy Chuck. That is card number 96 in the set. 97 is Andre Dawson, a.k.a. the Hawk. And card number 100 is Larry Gura. So in normal top sets, they save those triple digit numbers ending in zeros, whether it's double zeros or single zero, for the bigger named stars. Not so much with Fleer and or Donruss. They just stuck them in there. Fleer went alphabetically by player name, by team set, and then alphabetically by team name. And I think they went by how the team finished with their record at the end of the year. Here's a big name that's not in the top 100 cards. Cal Ripken Jr. Followed up by another big name, Paul Molitor. And then if you're a Boston fan, you got to remember Freddie Lynn. He had some good years in Boston. Not sure about his time with the Angels or not, but yes. Same with me. After 2024, I plan on just buying complete sets. I have every top set from 81 through 2023. If I would do like you, I have to go back to 58. It's only 1 year more than me, Donald. I'm 59 up through 2024. It's going to be like if you're going to do it, you might as well just go right out and buy the Mantle card right away, buy the Mays card right away, and then you're committed to completing the sets. You know what I'm saying? That's, if I were starting all over, that's what I would do if I was starting out that way. I have cards already without the Mantle or the Mays and the other big names, so I still have to invest in them, and we all know that they don't have to be perfect, you know. There's Lefty, Steve Carlton. Maybe like a 4.5 or a 5. Between a 4.5 and a 5.5 would be perfect. You know, um, those are really nice cards. You can count on some good corners on them and no creases. Centering might be an issue, but you know, still, um, very very nice looking cards. I don't have any of my cards down here, so stand by. I have some upstairs, examples of those exact trades that I bought in the past. Hold on. Here's one that I bought. And this is it's a 4. Doesn't have to be PSA. 66 tops. Roger Maris. Centering's an issue, but I'm more. Don't give me a crease card. I don't want any creases. I can live with some centering issues. There's still some border there, and it's got 4 really nice corners on it. So, you know, unlike Dylan, who wants perfectly centered cards, I can live without a perfectly centered card. So can a lot of other people. And yeah, so this goes for my 66 set, which I'm real close to completing that one. I don't know how I got stuck on that. I think I got stuck on that because my buddy uh, 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 Jack from work had a 66 set that he wanted to complete, so he and I were working on it together. And yeah, that's how I kind of got into the 66 right away. Points to ponder for sure. Yeah, yeah. Working on a 69. Robert Spring says he's working on a 69 set. Um, got most of the stars, but the common players are harder to find. High numbers, especially in any top set, high numbers. And the 72 set, I found that the high numbers, the seventh set, remember, 72 came out in 7 different series. But series number 4, I believe it was a very hard set as well. And those cards, they're just the images look nicer, crisper, sharper. You know what I mean? So when you see the 72 top series number 4, you think you're looking at the high numbers because they just look so much nicer. But anyway, got to go. All right, Donald, have fun at church if there's such a thing. And we'll see you around. Um, yeah, so I just went to a card show, and I don't know if you had seen the video that I got. I still have the stack of cards here, by the way, and I picked up um, some really nice cards. And you said you work on the 69. Well, if I go out, I kind of pick up cards that I think I need for my sets. I don't have a list. I should make lists, but got too many irons in the fire. But I did manage to pick up these 69s. So they're out there. You just gotta look. I know if you're I don't know where you're from, Robert. Um, Manny Sanguin. I've never seen that card before. That's pretty awesome. But if you're near the Philly area, the Philly show happens 3 times a year, and they have guys that show up there for every show with binders laid out on all their tables by year in numerical order. And I see people there, and I've done it, sat there and just say, hey, I need the 72 binder, I need the 66 binder, and they'll bring them to you. You pick out what you want. They're kind of marked on the pages what they cost, and you'll hand them to them, and they'll total everything up for you. And yeah, you can get a lot that way. And so I guess that's all the 69s that I got, and then I got 65s and 64s and 66s. But that's a nice little stack there that will eventually find its way into my binder for 69. He said I these I paid $1 each for. All of these, they're $1 a piece, and mostly commons. No big names. But what I liked about them was the condition of these cards. Like, were blowing me away. Like, the corners are really nice. Again, they're not all perfectly centered, but I'm mostly focused on nice corners and absolutely no creases. No creases. And yeah. So it was over 100 there. I spent like $150 at that show. And there were hardly any. That was a Cherry Hill show. Hardly any vintage there at all, which was little disappointing. Mostly like a third of the show was Pokemon stuff, and then um, the rest was baseball, regular sports, but mostly modern again. So, all right, we're up to card 115. South Carolina. Oh, you know what? Yeah, not many shows, not many. You're right. You're right. I was down there. Oh God, it was some time ago now. Probably 8 years ago. I was down there looking to buy a house. I was getting ready to move there. I live in New Jersey, and I wanted to move south, and things were really cheap back 8 years ago. We were looking at some stuff. We looked at one property that I really liked, and I'm like, I wanted it. It was 57 acres, right? And it was like 250,000. I'm like, I want it. But my wife asked the agent, well, how old is this house? And his reply was between 50 and 100 years old. Now you could tell it wasn't 100 years old because it had cinder block. So it wasn't 100 years old. But, and that turned her off to it right away. It had a 17 by 44 in-ground pool. Huge, right? A lot of wooded areas, and there were fields as well. And there was 20 acres of planted pine trees, which I understand is like a crop that they grow and harvest. The big paper mill companies will harvest them. So anyway, long story short, we didn't move. We came back. We looked at one other 25-acre property. I didn't like it. It had a modular home on it. The modular home seemed to be tilted on its foundation. I could just feel it when I walk on the floor. I can feel it like this house is not level. If I'd have had a marble, I could have dropped it on the floor in the kitchen and it would have rolled all the way to the wall. I'm like, so yeah. I'm like, no, don't want to deal with this one. And it had been empty for a while because all of the paddocks, because he had horse paddocks and stuff like that, were all overgrown already with weeds and stuff like that. So there's John the Count Montefusco. So Yeah, it never happened. We came back home. My daughter-in-law ended up getting pregnant, and we had grandkids. And then once we had our first grandkid on the way, we're like, well, that's it. We're not moving now. Hall of Famer Burt Blyleven. We're not moving now. We want to be around. We want to be in parts of their life more than just, hey, come and visit us, whenever, blah, blah, blah. Um, so now we're into their lives. My first grandchild is 8 years old now, and they've had two other ones since then. They have a 4, 6, and an 8-year old now. So yeah. So I am looking to retire now this year. Um, by the end of the year, if not sooner than the end of the year, retiring and just enjoying my cards, my collection, and opening up an eBay store because I have roughly 4.5 million cards in my inventory that I really don't need. I've been buying collections over the last 5 or 6 years, and now it's time to offload all that excess. We drove past Florence. So we had a family friend that lived outside of Orangeburg. Is that right? Orangeburg? Um, but we were I forget where the one place was. It was near it was probably generic because there's several reservoirs down there. It was near, within 5 or 10 miles of a fairly big lake reservoir there. It was a nice house, a nice property. Um, you know, personally, I didn't care where it was. My wife, on the other hand, had a huge concern about doctors and stuff like that because she has a cardiologist up here. She has a lot of medical needs, so she wanted to be where, if anything, there were lots of doctors available that she wouldn't have to go far to engage, in appointments and stuff like that. Mickey Hatcher. So yeah, it's just made things real hard. And then she got something stuck in her head, like, well, I really like my doctors up here. And I'm like, babe, they all go to the same schools. They all know each other almost. It's like they can look and say, yo, I know this guy here. He works in this town here. Blah blah blah. Wade Boggs. Shout out to John Wade Boggs, man. Donnie Baylor. Bob Welch. So I'm stuck now in dirty Jersey. I live in, they call it South Jersey, but I'm in the, I don't know, central to northern part of the southern half of New Jersey, if that makes any sense, but it's still considered South Jersey. I am 35 miles from Philadelphia to the west, and to the east, I'm 40 miles from Atlantic City. So I'm kind of nestled right there in a but one thing a lot of people don't understand about New Jersey, it's a lot of farmland here in New Jersey too. It's not like you would think city and no, there's a lot of farmland, and it has one of the largest um, land preserves. I'll call it. I don't think it's like a wildlife refuge. I think it's a land preserve in the Pinelands on the eastern seaboard. So that's, if I wanted to go riding a quad, I could. I could also have been doing that on my 57-acre property in South Carolina, no problem. But it is what it is. If I wanted to shoot guns, no such thing really happening here in New Jersey. It can be done, but you've got to join a club, go to a range, blah, 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 all that good stuff. Whereas if you had 57 acres of your own property in the South, you can go shoot on your own land and no one's going to bother you. You know what I mean? Reggie Sanders, yes, yes, I know. I heard of Reggie Sanders, Cincinnati Reds, and I'm not sure who else he may have ended up playing with, but yes. Oh, you went to school with him? Well, that's cool. He was probably a multi-sport star in school. I mean, uh, a lot of those guys, those athletes, they're at the top of any sport basically. You know, so that's not a yeah. I never really had a like a thing for Reggie Sanders. You know, like because I'm a Yankee fan. I'm not a Reds fan. There's Ron Guidry, by the way. Speaking of Yankees, um, so and my father named me after Mantle. My father was a huge Yankee fan. Um, my dad's cousins owned a house out on the Jersey Shore, out Oliver, and a lot of the Yankees players would go to his cousin's house and hang out, go fishing on his uncle's boat and stuff like that. So yeah, uh, my dad used to be able to go to the city and catch some of the games, even though they didn't live in New York. They would still um, head out there and be able to catch some of the games. So my dad was a Yankee fan, and he turned me into a Yankee fan. There's Joaquin Andujar. Turned me to a Yankee fan, and I'm surrounded by Philly fans, fanatical Philly fans at work, at home. You know, my kids, my wife, they're all Phillies fans. Michael Jack Schmidt. Um, yeah, so I got to tolerate all that stuff. At least they don't throw batteries at me or snowballs at me in the winter time. We're up to card number 186, and I believe there's 660 in this set. Yeah, Reggie Sanders has quite a few cards out there. You think he remembers you from school at all? Phil Negro. And do you TTM? Do you do TTMs and stuff like that? Maybe you could TTM him and get some autographs. Ferguson Jenkins. We talked about him yesterday when we binderized the 82 Fleer set. Mookie Wilson. Jesse Barfield. Roy Lee Jackson. We got John Henry Johnson. I got Roy Lee Jackson. Rick, he's so sweet with that big bushy mustache of his. Jesse Orozco with his bling bling on the fly there around his neck, his little golden chain, trying to distract the batter with that thing flailing about. Manny Sarmiento. Tim Flannery, rest in peace. He passed away a few years back now. Flannery's got a Fleer card, I believe, that he's standing with a surfboard. Pretty cool card. Dave Von Olen. The Von Olen 205. Mike Lacoste. Look at them chompers. Bruce Hurst. 213. Bob Shirley. Don't call me Shirley. Pat Zachary. Julio Franco. Dude played forever into his 50s, I think. Just didn't want to quit. Loved the game that much. Steve Rogers. John the Butcher of Texas. You have two Rangers back to back. That's kind of unusual. Frank White, Francis White. And you guys call me Francis, I'll kill you. If you guys touch my baseball, I'll kill you. That's actually a misquote from Stripes, the movie. Chris Bando, Sal Bando's brother. Roy Smalley, his dad played Major League Bowl. There's Dusty Baker. He's Hall of Fame bound as a manager. Lou Whitaker, Sweet Lou. Doug DeSenses. Lonnie Smith. Ray Knight. The Sarge, Gary Matthews. Juan Bonilla. Don't know if he's related to Bobby or not. Rod Scurry. Atlee Hammaker. Atlee. Don't know where that name comes from. What is it derived from? Maybe it's a part of two names. Their parents couldn't make up their mind. About some Keith Hernandez. Larry Boa. Long time Philly. Damaso Garcia. Tom Brunonsky. Dan Dreesen. Ron Kittle. Big guy. Tim Stoddard. Bob Gibson. Wait, that's not Bob Gibson. Give me a break. These guys keep messing up. Oh, it's a different Bob Gibson, I guess. Yeah, that should be Robert Gibson, so you don't get him confused. And here it is. The card, the one we've been waiting for, the Donnie Baseball. And there it is. slightly diamond cut on top of that. You can see how the border is thinner and then gets thicker right there. So it's a little diamond cut, but it's the Donnie baseball. It is the key card in the set, I believe. And that is card number 248, Donnie Baseball. I believe there's 660 cards in this set as well. So we got a little bit of a ways to go. We're going to have to pick up the pace if we want to get through this. I doubt it. Almost 39 years ago, I went to school with him. This is good and all, but I have to go for now. All right. Have a good Sunday. You too. Thanks for stopping by. I appreciate it. Going to continue binderizing. Appreciate it. Everyone that stops in, thanks for stopping in and chatting for a little bit. I realize it is Sunday. Oh, is that an F face? What the? They scribbled it out. It's black. It's the blackout version of. Yeah, look at that. I don't know what it says. I don't have my glasses on me. Sometimes you can see through them. Let me see if I can magnify it with my phone camera. No, it's going to be fuzzy. Got to get a good photo. I may not be able to. Yeah, that's a clear one. And now we'll blow it up and see if we can decipher what it says. Nah, it's just a blur. Cannot quite make it out. Yeah. I think it was some vulgarity though. Vulgarities before the F face. Or else why would they scribble that out? Or he stole it from someone. One of the two. He may have stole it and said, you know what? Scratch out the VIN, which is the guy's name on the bat, and say, now it's mine. Prove it otherwise. Marty Bystrom. So the goal is eventually to binderize or put in binders all of my sets from 59 to to the current, which would be now 2024. So I have a lot of tops. I have complete set run from 1977 through 2023 right now. Not all binderized. And then I wanna binderize, obviously the Fleers, the Donrusses, upper decks, and then work on I've already started Bowmans too, so I gotta put the Bowmans in there. And probably lastly would be like the Scores and the Pinnacles and stuff like that. Because it's all, it's also costly to do all that kind of stuff. I bought a package of six 2-inch binders. It was 54, $55. Lou Pinella. So, and then, to buy the sleeves to put them in, at say $20 for 100, I spent another 70 some dollars on sleeves to put into 5 binders for 400 sleeves. It was enough to do 5 binders, guesstimating at 660 cards per, and allowing for some variations to go in there and all that, error cards, whatever. And it left me with roughly 25, and it didn't help that BCW shorted me one box, shorted me 6 sheets. Now I opened up the other 2 boxes, and this time I recorded 2 of them at 101 in, so that gave me 2 back, and one had exactly 100 in, so that still left me 4 short of 400, pages. So, but if they did that to everyone, why, they could, increase their profit margin, I guess. But you could also switch to Ultra Pro pages as well. BCW Ultra Pro. 6 of one, half a dozen the other, right? We're up to card number 286. So we knocked down 100 cards since our last real check. There's the Cobra, Dave Parker. Lee Arthur Smith, that is. Alan Trammell. So you can see like the first 100 cards were just chocked full of Hall of Famers and fan favorites and all-stars and big names. And the rest of the set, they're just kind of like, well, guys, we kind of may have blown our wad in the first 100. We got to pace ourselves here, all right? Or we're not going to make it to the end of the whole encounter here. So we got to pace ourselves and spread them out a little bit thinner than what we did in the first 100. All right? Ready, break. And that's what they did. They started spreading them out. Rock Reigns. Bucky freaking Dent right there. Yeah, Bucky Dent. And there's the infamous Tommy John. Carlton Fisk. As soon as I say that, then they peppered in a bunch more. Someone said F you to the boss and said, I'm gonna mess with him. I'm gonna put a bunch in, like a handful right here in one little spot and see if he freaks out about that, because they like to watch the boss freak out. How about some Rhino action? Ryan Sandberg. Very nice. Very nice. Came up with the Phillies and didn't last long in Philly. It was shipped off to the Cubbies. George Foster. Spike Lee Owens, or just Spike Owens to you common folk. Junior Ortiz. Randy Johnson. But this Randy Johnson is not the big unit. This Randy Johnson is 6'1", not 6'10". So this is the little unit. Jim Morrison, not the singer either, unless he moonlighted as a baseball player in between gigs. How about some Tony Gwynn action? There you go. Tony frickin' Gwynn. Oh, let's see. I hear movement in the house. There's movement. Actually, everyone's been up for a while, so they're all upstairs doing their thing. Wayne Krenschecki. In case you're wondering how that name is pronounced, there you go. And Larry Bittner. Dave Stewart. He was the modern, I think, the modern version of Bob Gibson. Just mean looking, probably staring you down on the mound. How about Rod Carew, baby? Always smiling, always happy, that guy. Marvin the Martian. That look on his face. What? Who, me, man? What? Phil Garner. Chicken wing. Joe Morgan with the flap. That Candy Man, John Candelaria. Bill Lasky. There's King Kong, Dave Kingman. Talked a little bit about him yesterday on yesterday's set. How about the Penguin, Ron Say? As a Cubby. Violin, Frank the violin player. Floyd Bannister, not having his card confused with Tom Seaver in this set. Moose Haas. Ray Fontenot. Fontenot, Fontenot, or Fontenot. Luis Aponte, Aponte. Jack Fimple had a pimple that was not simple. Neil Heaton, Greg Pryor. How gross can Wayne get? Come on, Wayne. We're up to card 376. Not quite 100 cards down from the last time we checked. Charlie Lee, Steve Lubarach, John Matlack. Met him many years ago while living in Las Vegas. He was the pitching coach for the Las Vegas Stars for several years. John Mizarok. Another gross guy. This guy's name's Kevin Gross. I'm getting grossed out here in a minute. Like Ramsey. Oh, here you go. Doug Wads. Dude, that ain't even a word. That's just letters thrown in there. Like, really? Come on. It's like we're gonna F with his teacher. And yeah, this is his name now. Good luck, Miss whatever, Miss Jones, getting his name right and not looking like a buffoon in front of the rest of the class. Randy Moffat. Moffat top. There's Ron Washington. Gary Renicky. Tom Candiotti. Larry Fishnick. Pajnik. Dewey Evans. Dwight. We got the goose of the Gossages. First name's Rich, by the way. Richard Gossage, but he liked Goose so much that he wanted to be called Goose on all his cards after a certain time. Juan Eichelberger. Davy Lopes. Bill Gullickson. Jeff Zahn, not Geoff Zahn. Mike Squires. No relation to Billy Squires. Eric Shaw, not Eric Show. The guy with two first names, John and Denny. Dan with two N's. Bilodello. What a Benedict Arnold, or Benedict Bruce in this case. Kent to Culvey. in Mel Hall without all that Jerry curl stuff in his hair. But it looks like he smeared it on his face. He's all sweaty. John, he's in a stupor over in the corner. I'm going to go help him up. Hall of Famer, 300 game winner, Don Sutton. Followed by Hall of Famer Jack Morris. Hey, Void's here. On to the 84 set. You should be able to guess my favorite card from the 84 by now. Goose, yes. No, it's not Goose. I know it's a Mattingly card. We've already passed that one. Mine is slightly diamond cut. I think it was in the 200s, though. I think it was in the 200s. I could be wrong. I don't remember now. But it was diamond cut. There it is, right here on the bottom. Card number 248. Mine's diamond cut, so a little bit. Just a slight small border here, and then it gets wider at the top. It's all good. It's just for the binder. I have, probably a better sample somewhere else. This is just from this set that I bought off of my buddy Chuck. So I'm slowly getting to go through them. Willie Randolph, another Janky. Those damn Yankees. Don Slot. Tim Wallach. Larry Parrish. Brian Downing. Downingtown. Take it easy, Mickey, and the rest of the chat. Just wanted to drop by and leave a thumbs up. All right, thanks, Boyd. Appreciate it. Have a great rest of your Sunday. Appreciate everyone stopping by the way. I know this is kind of boring stuff, but I got to do it. I might as well share it with you. There might be some cards in this set that someone has never seen, and maybe may even pique their interest into going out and getting their own set just because they like the look of the cards. You never know. Bring back memories from some guys who this was the first set they may have ever collected. Like a lot of guys, the first set they did was the 87 top set, and they just love that set. There's Yogi's kid, Dale. The other boy's name was Tim, and he had one more that didn't play sports, I don't think. It was more like a businessman. There's the guy with the snake around his neck, Glenn Hubbard. He survived that encounter, though, obviously. Jody. Oh, no, it's Rudy, sorry. Danny is in a heap of trouble, son. You're in a heap of trouble. Ed Nunez. Bobby Castillo. Ernie, full of wit there, Ernie. Scott Olger, not ogre. Olger. Doyle of the Alexanders. Domingo Ramos. And Greg Swan doing a swan dive into the sleeve. And there he goes. Whoosh. All right. Moving right along. We are up to card number Warren Brewster. Card number 442 for Warren Brewster. Not Brewstar. I was just making fun of his name. It's Brewster. Lenny Barker. Mike the Hitman Easler, who didn't have all that many hits, I think, in his career. Rennie Martin. Rennie. Dennis Rasmussen. And Ted Power. Round out that page. Moving on, we got Charlie Hudson. And Danny, you can say it, I won't. People might misunderstand. The YouTube algorithm may think I said a bad word. Like Kevin Bass. Bass. Daryl Sconiers. And then Scott Fletcher. Bryn Smith. Not Brian. Bryn. Jim Dwyer. Rob Piccolo. Don't know if he's related to Brian Piccolo or not. Enos Cabell. Here's Oil Can Boyd, known to his parents as Dennis. Butch Weiniger, Yankees catcher, for a little bit. Bert Hooten. Rootin' Tootin' Hootin'. There you go, another former Yankee or future Yankee. Ron Hassey. He's all clean shaven for his trip to New York, probably. Danny Jackson, before he became a Cincinnati Red. I'm sure we didn't get 2 cards there. We did not. Okay. Bob Kearney. Terry Francona. Dad Tito Francona played in the major leagues as well. Wayne Tollinson. Or is it tallest son? There's not 2 N's. There's only Tolson. Greg Tolson. And Mickey Rivers. Mick the Quick. Johnny Wathen. Guy who likes putting donuts on his bats. Bill Allman. Joy Bar. George Vukovic got the worst case of the frizzies or split ends I've ever seen on a baseball player. Steve Kemp. Big guy they brought over from Detroit that I don't think he panned out all that well. Ken Landero. Dennis Martinez, El Presidente. No, that's Tippy. Sorry, Tippy, not Dennis. Tippy. Why do they call him Tippy? Did he fall over easy? Ted Simmons. Wearing the tools of ignorance, yet he made it into the Hall of Fame. Tim Foley. Terry Poole. Spelled way different than the pronunciation. Bobby Brown. Could be related to the other Bobby Brown, but yeah, that's Bobby Brown. Bad guy. Lee Lacy, your shoes before you go out onto the field. Joel Youngblood. Now he's Joel Oldblood. Fitzgerald. Mike. Keith Moreland. How about some Ron Renicky? Possibly related to The other Renicky. Luis Leo. Brian Olkers. Brian Olkers. How about some Bruce Brenly? Some really weird names in Major League Baseball. Lamar Hoyt. Not Hoyt Lamar. That would be too close to being Headley Lamar. If you know, you know. Joe Nolan. Marshall Edwards. There you go. Instead of Ed Marshall. Mike Laga. Rick Cerrone. What are you doing? Your sister was in here. She got in trouble yesterday. Don't you come in here causing trouble. There you go. I just had to have a stern talking with the cat. And he turned and did an about face. Rick Honeycutt. And then he sneaks in anyway. Mike Hargrove. Yeah, he's in now. Little does he know is when I get done here, I'm closing up shop again. So, Keith Atherton. Chris Welsh. Not Walsh. Welsh. Bruce Keeson. Drives a Nissan. Bob Johnson. And one of the most famous guys on a rookie card in history is Jerry Koosman. At least from the 60s anyway, right? Frank DiPino. And we are getting down there, guys. Hey, we've got a Hall of Famer here, Tony Perez. And then you got Ken Oberkfeld. Oberkfeld. Ken Oberkfeld. Gotta say it real fast. Pascual Perez. Marvell Wynn. Mike Krukow. Ruthven. Richard Ruthven. Don't want to say the D word or the C word. The algorithm might get you. Al Cowens. That was not the guy that drove OJ around. That was Al Cowlings. Cliff Johnson. Two total different names, total different sports. Randy Bush. Slinging Sammy Stewart. Bill Schroeder. Aurelio Lopez. Oh, what a common name, Mike Brown. Jeez. There's Greg Nettles. Dave Sachs, brother to Steve Sachs. Jerry Willard, like the rat Willard. The movie about a rat named Willard. Paul Splittorff. Tom Bergmeyer. Chris Spire. Bobby Clark. Not the hockey player. Don't get excited. This guy's got all his teeth. George Wright. Not one of the Wright brothers. Not Orville or Wilbur. They didn't have a third brother named George. Dennis Lamp. Lamp post. Table lamp. Whatever. Tony Scott. Eddie Whitson broke my man Billy Martin's arm in an unfair fight. Billy was drunk. Eddie was like 20 years younger. Ron Reed. Charlie Puleo. Jerry Royster. Don Robinson. Steve Trout. That is not Mike Trout's dad. Don't let people fool you. Not Mike Trout's dad. Bruce Sutter. Bob Horner on the hot corner. Being third base, that is. Pat Tabler, or Tap Pabler, if you're John Jabs. Chris Chambliss. Here's another good name for your book of names. Bob Ojeda. Not Ojeda. 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 Alan Ashby. Nothing right there name-wise. And we can poke fun at Jay Johnstone. Nope. I think his 84 Fleer, though. His 84 Fleer has him with a hat with two drinking cups on the side. You know, like he can drink beers like during the game. It's a baseball helmet. Bob Dernier. Brooks Jacoby. UL Washington. With the toothpick, I might add. If it focuses, you'll probably see that toothpick sticking out. Let's see. Hocus pocus. Get in focus. There it is. You see, yeah, it's that little white thing sticking on the end of his lip. That's his toothpick. Danny Darwin. Kiko Garcia. Vance Law. His daddy, Vern Law, played big league ball. Old Tugger McGraw. Dave Smith. Then Matuzak. I'll show you Tuzak. The Twos. Tom Hume. 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 Dave Dravecki. Man had his arm snapped twice. His pitching arm snapped twice on the mound. Rick Roden. Dwayne Kuiper. Rusty Staub. And Bill Campbell. Campbell. We're up the card to 5 triple nickels. Mike Torres. And Dave Henderson. Mr. Henderson. Lenny Whitehouse. Really? Barry Bunnell. Rick Lysander. L-Y, Sander. Lysander. Garth Org. His brother Dane played also. Nothing special about Brian Clark. Let's move on. Or Brian Giles. We have another Brian? No, we have Vern Rules the Day. Steve Bedrosian. Bedrock, I think they call them. Larry McWilliams, not much there. Jeffrey Leonard, nope, not happening there. Alan Wiggins, nope. Jeff Russell, not happening. Here's a tough one. Not one you hear every day. Salom Boras. Salom Boras. That's my best guess. I never heard that name pronounced before, so I could not tell you. I'm doing my best there. Salom Boras. There's Dane Org, not too far down the line from his brother. Bob Nepper. Gorman Thomas with the biggest wad of chew and bubblegum in his cheek you can imagine. That's when men were men. Manny Trio. Here's a big name. Hall of Famer James Palmer. 1966 Topps rookie card. Do not have that one for my set yet. It's kind of pricey. Dale Murray, not Dale Murphy. Tom Brookins. Gedman. Richard. Bill Doran. Steve of the Jägermeisters. And Dan Spillner. Quisenberry. Mullenix. First name Rance, not Lance. Would have been nice, Ma. I just gave him a name like Lance Mullenix instead of Rance, but whatever. Guess you had your reason. Storm Davis. Dave Schmidt. No relation to Michael Jack. Bill Russell. Pat Sheridan. Rafael Ramirez. Bud Anderson. Mr. Anderson. George Frazier. Lee Tunnell. Kurt Gibson. Scotty McGregor. Bob Baylor. Tommy Herr. Luis Sanchez. Dave Engel. Craig McMurtry. Carlos Diaz. Tommy O'Malley. Tom O'Malley. Nick Esaski. Gil Hodges' kid, Ron Ed Vandenberg, Alfredo Griffin, Glenn with two N's, Hoffman, Glenn Hoffman Turner Overdrive, Hugh B. Burks, Richard Barnes, Greg Walker, Ken Singleton, Mark Clear, not so clear. Shout out to Alex over at Jay's Mix for having a nice Bucky Martinez collection. Oh, I got some more people here. Sorry about that. There's Alex right there. Jay's Mix. Void. Have a great day, everyone. Okay. Steve Kemp was my favorite Tiger as a kid. Remember the day he was traded. Did you cry? Jeff McMahon. Center Hill Cards is here. Gary Renicky is the other one. Yes, Gary Renicky and Ron Renicky. They're probably brothers. That would be my guess. E.L. Brown. It's been almost 2 years since you popped on my feed. Glad to see you're still alive. I'm alive. I do videos from time to time. Not as many as I used to, but I'll probably be doing more and more of these binderizing. Binderizing, not a real word. It's one I made up, but it works for me. Where I'm gonna binderize my sets that I don't already have in binders. But ones that are already in binders, if they're not complete, then they'll just get updated. But I have complete tops runs now from 1977 through 2023, but not all in binders. I have other sets in binders as well. So, yeah. There's Griffey Sr. UL Washington recently passed away. Well, sorry to hear that. Rest in peace, UL Washington. Reed Nichols. And Doug the Sisk. All right, we've got just a few left. This is it, including the puzzle pieces of, looks like Duke Schneider. The Schneider. Duke of Flatbush. Bob Brenly. Joe McLaughlin. Glenn with two N's again. Wilson this time. Bob Stoddard. Don't know if he's any relation to Tim. Len Sakata. Mike Young, who's not so young. I'm calling Mike old now, I'm sure. Look at this. We have 3 Baltimore Orioles in a row. Somebody effed up on the checklist. John Stefano. Not Stefano. Stefano. Let's verify the numbers on these cards, shall we? So we are looking at 620, 21, and 22. Yeah, that's designed that way. I've seen doubles. This is the first time I've seen 3. Carmelo Martinez. First time I've seen 3 guys from one team on a checklist back to back to back. Dave Bergman. Not Brigman. How about running Reds? But we're actually running Redbirds. So someone kind of messed up on that one. Don't know if there's a corrected version or not because it says running Redbirds on the back. So, running Redbirds. Rudy May. Rudy Rudy, Rudy. And here you go. Here's two Yankees back to back. Matt Keo, Koff, whatever. Jose De Leon. Jim Essien. Darnell Coles. Mike Warren. Del Crandall. There's a manager card. There's El Presidente Dennis. Got him and Tippy mixed up earlier in the set. Mike Moore. Larry Sorensen with Larry with one R. We get Glenn's with two N's and Larry's with one R. Okay. Now I see it. Ricky Nelson. Not the 60s singer Ricky Nelson. Omar Moreno. Charlie Huff. Been playing since 1972. The Eck. Dennis Eckersley. Walt Terrell. Danny Walling. Dave Anderson, another Mr. Anderson. Jose Oquendo. Bob Stanley Toolbox. Dave Giselle. Okay. We're not going to touch that one. Even if Tom Brady's wife is named Giselle. Scott Geraltz. Gary Pettis. There's the Duke Schneider puzzle card. That is number 648. Johnny LeMaster. What is that on your helmet there, son? It's a peace sign, sir. A peace sign. You know the rest, I'm sure. Full Metal Jacket. It's about the duality of man, I guess, sir. Son, you got to pull your head out and get on the winning team. On one hand, you say peace, and the other hand, you have a rifle. Which one will it be? How about some chicken? San Diego chicken, that is. Bark, 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 bark. Then we've got all the checklist cards that are numbered independently of the checklist. These are cards number 1 through 6, I believe. Checklist 1. Checklist 2. Checklist 3. And checklist 4. Checklist 5. Checklist 6. And then we roll into the Schneider puzzle pieces. And yes, we are going to binderize even the puzzle pieces, guys. Why? Because we can. And it's part of the set. So we will be the master set builders. It would be nice to do it this way, though. Right? It means I came up short on my sleeves, but that's all right. I'll get some more sleeves to finish it off. If we go like this, with the Duke there and the Duke there, and we'll kind of sort of make the puzzle, and the Schneider on the cider. Then the next one will be this one. And the eyeballs one. And the forehead and the bill of the inside bill of the hat. About some, I don't know, neck and shoulder area, maybe. A little bit of battage behind the ear. Nose and mouth of the Duke. And knuckles of the Duke. So that's how that puzzle. Let's see how it would lay out if they were going this way, it'd be even better. But they're not. So lucky for me, I might have some right down, extras in this binder. Let's see. Are there any extras? This one has a lot of cards in it. And no extras. No extras. So I'm gonna have to just grab some from upstairs and do it off camera. It is what it is. Hold on. Got some Ultra Pro pages. They'll do. They're not BCW, they're Ultra Pros, but we'll just toss them in here and see what we come up with. Because we want to complete this binder today if we can, all right? Which we will. It's already a done deal. So I had to put them in there upside down. Did I just do that? Did I do that? No. Okay, they're not upside down. I almost pulled an Urkel there. Did I do that? There's the Duke's backhand. Showing you the back of his hand. The Duke's buttocks. The Duke's crotch area, hip. Duke's elbow. Not sure what that is. The Duke's foot. There you go. The mini Duke foot. Mini Duke shoe. Stepping in the bucket, I guess. There's his other shoe and ankle and calf area. Some stars to go along with everything else. Are we still on, right? Yeah, we're on page. So there's how that one looks. And the last one. So yeah, if we wouldn't have had those 3 cards on there, no, we still would have come up short, but that's all right. We still would have come up goofy. It's all good in the hood. It is what it is. We're just gonna press on, press on, press on. And there are 63 pieces in each of the Donruss puzzles. That completes the puzzle. That completes the binder. We've had only a couple variations. Clean set. Card number for you guys who got here late. The key card in this set is the Donnie Baseball. And there she is. The Mattingly card. The first 100 cards were like treasures. I mean, so many big names in the first 100, not counting these 26 here that are kind of. So here's the 2 variations. Basically, missing numbers on the back. The card number missing 29 and 30. I actually have the missing numbers ones. There's no number there where there should be a number. See right there. So at 29 and 30, I need the ones with the numbers, the correct version. A lot of rookies here, like Joe Carter would be one. Then you get to the regular cards, and it starts off with a home run right here with the Eddie Murray, the Robin Yount, right? Jim Rice, Dave Winfield. I mean, 4 big names right there. Fernando, Brett, Henderson, Carter, Reggie, Baines, Smith, Nolan Ryan. I mean, the first 100 cards were just home runs. Rose, Garvey, Dale Murphy, Strawberry, Herbeck. You like Herbeck? Van Slyke. Slowed down a little bit, but then it picks up again. But we're coming up. This is card number 96 in the set. 97 is Andre Dawson. And there's the first 100 cards ends right there. So you saw a lot of big names right up front. And then the rest kind of, they're peppered in the rest of the set, the rest of the big names. But first 100 cards, they went to town. And 2-inch binder. There it is. Holds the cards very nicely. Look at that. I might have to back it up a little bit, but you can see pretty nice. You know what I mean? Like, not gonna goof it up too bad because it's pretty flat. And when you stuff it on your shelf, it'll be even better. So I'll flip this card around. I'll mark on it what it is. Get it out. There we go. So you flip this over and you write on it. Donruss 1984. Oh yeah. Let me stick that on the spine of the binder. And whenever they get the racks all built, then it'll go on the shelves, the bookshelves. So right now I don't have any bookshelves per se, but there it is. So we did the 84 Donruss today. Yesterday we did the 82 Fleer, I believe it was. Yep. Fleer, 1982. And we got that one complete with variations missing. So we got to work on that for master set building. That's what we want to do. Get all the variations and all that good stuff. And guys, that's going to be it for today. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. And if you're rewatching, well, you watch it later. That's okay. See what you missed. But basically, I gave you the recap, which was the 84 Mattingly rookie card. It's the big card in the set. And we'll try to get... I have 3 more binders that I can binderize. I just got to figure out what sets I want to put in the binders. It's going to be Fleer or Donruss, you know, something like that. So, all right, I did show this one earlier in the video, talking about the requirements for my cards. No creases. It can be off center, whatever. If you're going to buy some older cards to complete your sets, between 4 and like a 5.5, they're perfectly fine. You might have centering issues. Should not have any soft corners though. Like I'm not super worried about centering, but I don't want paper loss. And creases are a big no-no. I throw them cards away. I don't keep any cards with creases in. They go straight to the trash. But that's just me. Excuse me while I get a drink. I do have one crease card that I am keeping. I should send it off to PSA because it's the F face card that came in a collection that I bought, and someone's mom must have taken it and said, "Oh my God, crunch!" And it is all crushed. What are you doing up there, cat? And then threw it in the trash, and the kid must have went and like, "Mom's not looking," pull it out of the trash, and put it back in his collection. And I bought that collection decades later, and inherited that card. So, guys, that's going to be it for this video. Hope you enjoyed it. And don't forget, if you haven't already, hit that thumbs up. Go ahead and smash it. And if you haven't already subscribed, go ahead and do that now. I appreciate it. And don't forget to check each other's channels out and subscribe to each and everyone else. With all that being said and done, guys, thanks for tuning in. We'll see you in the next one. This is Boomslang signing out saying, peace, everybody. We'll see you guys around the channels. Have a good one.